here. I support Jill with the New York State Seal by Literacy work. So welcome everyone.
Awesome, thanks. I don't know if we need the transcript. I just turned that off, but thank you all for being here. We are here to talk about how we support students in lower incidence languages. So you've all applied to the per session posting for this. And I did put in the email. I need to pull up the slides. Justin, do you have a link to the slides for this orientation? Let me find it.
If you share it with me, I'll share screen.
Oh, perfect. Cool. Here it is. Yeah. Thanks. And you'll get a copy of the slides. You know what? Actually, did I just put it in the chat last? Yeah. Justin, I'll share it with you. You know what? I'll just share my screen if that's okay.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Whatever's more convenient for you.
Yeah. Let me do that. I put in the email to you. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, cool. So the big idea, sorry, Justin, I didn't have you. You can't hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, Mohammed can't hear me. Everyone else can please log out and back in. Okay, cool. So 2 objectives. I want you to be able to articulate what is the seal of biliteracy. Quite a few of you are involved in the seal at your schools, which is exciting. And then specifically, we're going to zoom in on the 1E, 2E culminating project, also referred to as the capstone project. What I put in the email is that a position for you and per session hours are dependent on if students need your language, right? So I have a few candidates in French. I have a few candidates in Arabic. I have a few candidates. Do I have Russian? Because Natalia, you're Russian, yeah? I have 3 candidates in Russian. I only have 1 in Portuguese, Randy. No, 2. 2 in Portuguese. And Nushin, I have a few in Chinese. So Justin, I give, or yeah. And then Nushin, what's your language?
I speak Urdu and Punjabi.
Okay, Urdu, perfect. I have about 6, like 8 candidates in Urdu and 1 in Punjabi. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, perfect. Turkish. Okay. Nice. Very cool. Okay, this is good. So this is the list of students. So after today, I'm going to hope to connect you with those students. So, sorry, so many screens, so many PDs. So yeah, so tell me, what do you already know about the seal of biliteracy? So clap if you're familiar with the revised capstone project, you know how it differs. Thumbs up if you've done the seal before but aren't really sure. 3 if you don't do the seal but you kind of know about it, and that face. These are Zoom reactions. I don't know if they're the same. Okay, so is he okay, basic understanding, things like that. Okay, cool. So basic understanding, but unsure. Yeah, okay, great. That's fine. So that's why we're here, to learn. So the seal, would anyone like to take a gander at this? What is the seal? How does it benefit students? Don't be shy.
Seal of biliteracy gives them, I would say, proof that they are familiar with the both languages almost on the same level. They, for example, Russian and English, and it's how to say, evidence that they could communicate in both languages almost the same.
And it benefits students because it showcases their commitment and their dedication to studying to world languages and their fluency in multiple world languages. So it gives them an advantage in terms of career options, education, college, higher education. It just really showcases their dedication, commitment, following through on, achieving this goal. And it's a prestige, it's an honor that is attached to their diploma. And it's something that it's an achievement they can be really proud of, a goal that they've achieved.
That is absolutely right. So many times when you tell people what you do, they probably share their experience with languages. Oh, I took French in high school, or, oh, I took Spanish and then I can order a beer or something like that, right? Like they all share their experience, but this is a way for students, it's a diploma endorsement, like a graduation distinction that they can be proud of and is concrete. Okay. Okay, Mohammed, you with us? Okay, yay. Okay, cool. Yes, exactly. All these things you said. Thanks. So many. And you are specifically going to be working with a group of students whose language might not be taught in the schools, right? So if you're here, it's because they don't have someone on staff who speaks their language. So that's really exciting to be able to help those students in their home languages. Recognize and affirm who they are. We aim to have any student be able to pursue the SEAL in any language. So thank you for being available for this. And it identifies our students going to CUNY, right? CUNY campuses are in the process of determining their credits for the SEAL. This is big, and we'll work with SUNYs as well. Queens College has decided 8 credits for the SEAL. College of Staten Island is 3. Yeah, and so it strengthens our programs. And this is the quick guide, the one pager for principals about why they should do it, right? It certainly helps their college, career, and civics readiness score from the state. And so let's take a minute to hear from a student. We want to have more student voices, student videos to inspire others. So you want to hear from Pais or from Vicky? Someone decide. Pais students or from Vicky?
Any students.
Okay. Let's hear from Vicky.
Hola a todos, 大家好. My name is Vicky and I'm the recipient of both the New York State Seal by Literacy in Chinese and Spanish. As Chinese was one of my native language, I was able to take the exam to fulfill my Chinese credit. I encourage all of you to take the SEAL in your native language. However, I also wanted to challenge myself, so I took on learning Spanish throughout high school. My junior year, I took my SEAL and passed. It was such a rewarding experience, and I want to let you know that the SEAL is attainable. I also want you all to go for it. I continue to practice Chinese and Spanish, and I know that I can use the language in my future as well. Good luck, everyone, and challenge yourself to achieve a New York State SEAL by Literacy.
Awesome. So I'm gonna move Vicky off this. Yeah. So the students that you'll be connected with, yeah, Vicky's great, and there are so many other students who made videos. The students that you'll be connected with are already motivated towards the SEAL. So that's really exciting. You don't need to convince them. Okay, so big background, right? To achieve the SEAL of Biliteracy, students need to meet the requirements for Regents Diploma. The students you would be working with are all 12th graders. We are trying to prioritize. Actually, you know what? Since I have all of you in different languages, I'm going to reach out to the schools if you're already working with a group of students in Turkish, maybe you can work with 2 11th graders as well, right? To get as many students this year to complete the project. So I'll check on that. 3 points demonstrating English proficiency, 3 on world languages. And so every school there are 160 high schools that are participating this year. All of the high schools have designated a SEAL of Biliteracy coordinator. And that is the person I will connect you with. And that is the person in this middle column, the coordinator so Angela, for example, has 1 Kazakh speaker, right? And so if you are a Kazakh speaker, I would connect you with Angela and she'd connect you with that student. And then you would look at the student's Part A essay. Sorry, I keep clicking on the wrong thing. And so we're focusing on that 2E specifically, the culminating project that meets the criteria for speaking, listening, reading, and writing. So in order to give the student the seal of biliteracy, we need to know that they can do all these things, right? Because it's going to be on their diploma and their transcript. So the culminating project this year has 3 parts. In the past, it had 4 parts, but this year it's 3 parts. So we already talked about this. A lot of the languages that you're here for are considered category 3-4 languages. So French, Marceline's here. French is a category 1-2 language, which means it's written with a Roman alphabet, as well as Portuguese. But then category 3-4 languages that includes Arabic and Mandarin and Urdu and Punjabi and Russian. All of those are category 3-4 languages. So the rubrics you need to know are different. And so part A is a personal essay that the students are doing. I've asked schools to assign that part A essay to them in December. So we're going to make sure that the students have already done part A, and then you will be able to review that. Part B is doing research. Students do not need to write a research project or a research paper, but they're doing an annotated bibliography. And part B is, I think, where the students might need the most support. What websites do you use to do research in Arabic? What websites are you using to do research on certain topics in simplified Chinese? Things like that. Part C is that they do a presentation and oral defense. Oral defense means you ask, there needs to be 2 adults for part C. So we'll have to talk about that, asking you to maybe have a colleague to help you with this or a friend. It doesn't need to be a teacher. But for part C, that's where you ask and answer questions to make sure that the student can hold a conversation. I'm going to go more into the rubrics of this. Any questions so far? No. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is on the English side. So you're not going to be worrying about working with the students on the English side. This is what the Seal of Biliteracy coordinator at the school helps them with. And then, sorry, I guess these slides are kind of duplicative, redundant. Okay, so again, part A, hopefully they've already completed it. And so just to tell you what the school coordinator's been asked to do, and then what your role will be is on the blue side. So the school coordinators have been asked to go over the student-facing document with their students. This helps the students take ownership and understand, okay, we're going to pick a topic together. And then if I'm doing the project in both languages, I need to pick different topics. And I need to make sure I understand the rubrics, so it links them to the rubrics in their personal essay, right? And so this document is in English, but everything they do needs to be in the target language, okay? We weren't able to translate this into 30 different languages. Mohammed knows the Office of Translation and Interpretation does not do student-facing translations. So the document is in English, but if students are pursuing the Seal of Biliteracy, they should be able to read this and then respond in the target language, right? So this is kind of a checklist as they're writing their part A. And then part B, and if we go down to the rubrics, right, they can use this as their writing to make sure that they're on target. So by the time they submit anything to you, they should have already checked off and used this to help them. So the school-based coordinators should have gone over this with them. The school-based coordinators would have helped them choose a topic. The school-based coordinators would have helped them write or assigned their personal essay and told them to use the rubrics as a checklist. And then the school-based coordinators are going to create a copy of, sorry, my drive. For every student, this is where you will collaborate with them. So for example, for Randy, for the one student, I think it's at Long Island City High School, who's pursuing it in Portuguese. That's where Marceline works. The coordinator would set this up with the student's name, their ID number, and their class, and then you would be listed as the advisor, and your email address would be here, that they're pursuing 2E in Portuguese. And then the coordinator would fill out when they assigned this, and then link in an example of their part A. And then you, Randy, would support them in this and use the rubrics. And then I'm going to fix this up to link in the rubrics. And then you're going to put, what did they get on development? What did they get on coherence? And then you, Randy, are going to link in any feedback you have for the student. And if the student meets, if the student meets that level of 3 for part A, then great, they can move on. Level 3 is needed, right? If they meet this column, then they move on to part B, okay? And so you and the coordinator at the school are going to work together to complete this, which is documentation that the student has completed the project, okay? Those are, and then some students, especially in languages where it's not taught in their school, which is what you're working with, a lot of students will also need to take a 2D assessment. It might be an oral proficiency interview, or it's an online assessment they're going to take to get that 3rd point on the world language side. So they're going to pay for the assessments at the schools. And then you're, as an advisor, you will. If you have a bigger group, so Konika and Nazneen are working with Bengali speakers, they'll each have about 8 or 10 students, because that's a very common language for students. So they might set up a Google Classroom. If you are working with Arabic speakers and there are only like 4 of them, you can decide if you want to do a Google Classroom, or you can just kind of do emails, or you decide. It makes sense to have them meet together and talk, and then individual sessions. And these are all on Zoom. You know, you don't need to travel to the schools or anything like that. You'll assess the part A using the rubric, provide feedback if they need to revise part A. And then part B, that guidance, right? Which search engines should they use? Which phrases should they use if they're searching for something on immigration and Arabic, for example? Are there certain key phrases they might not know? And then you'll coordinate the part C presentation. These should happen in April with the school coordinator. And so if you can, invite a second assessor to be part of the presentation. For all of you, since you're working remotely and you're not near the schools of the students, it would be great if these are on Zoom. And I mean, you're welcome to plan them for in person if you want to go to meet the student in person and do that. But Zoom is great because then we can record it and have examples for like future years. We can talk more about that, but I think a lot of you might end up doing your Part C presentations on Zoom, and you can Zoom in a friend from Egypt if you want. I mean, it doesn't matter, but we need 2 grown-ups to be part of the Part C presentation. And then, yeah, you'll communicate directly with the coordinator about any updates. Do you have any questions on this? Oh, hi, Konika, you're here again.
Jill, I have a
Yes.
problem with accessing the folder. It's happened with other department too. I don't know why my email, every time when I'm trying to get to the folder, it says that my access denied. I don't know what
Ushakova?
Nushakova at schools.nyc.gov. Yeah, I'm here.
Try it now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will try. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Konika, we'll have to think about that, because if you have students from 8 different schools, I might have you with, there's one school that has 8 Bangla speakers at the same school. That might make sense. It's in Brooklyn, but I can't pay you for travel necessarily. So you'll have to think about if that makes sense for you.
Jill, thank you. It works. Now I get
Okay.
access. Thank you.
Yep. Does the second person need clearance for working with students? You know, so I don't have capacity to do all that, but we would ask that it's someone that you know personally that would trust, and really you're not meeting in person, it's like over Zoom, and they are a person acting. So the second person, you would need to make sure they're familiar with the rubric, make sure they've reviewed the parts A and part B for that student, and they feel prepared to be able to assess the students on a rubric. But it does not need to be a DOE employee. Or, yeah. Is it Lyndon Mulder at? Okay, thanks. Thanks, Justin. Justin, anytime you get the requests, you can just add them as viewers. Thank you.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Yep. Okay. So part A is the foundation. Again, we'll make sure that they have written part A. And their personal essay themes, they may have already chosen it. They should have already chosen it with their advisor. So the guidance we gave schools is it could be on anything they're interested in. These are the AP themes and topics, but they're probably not taking an AP class. That's why they're doing it with an advisor, because it's not taught at their school. You might be reading projects and essays around environmental issues, around immigration, around endangered animals, and about health issues, food deserts, all kinds of things. So hopefully it's interesting for you to be part of this process. And Mohammed, do you mind sharing? I can't remember, did you end up working with a group of students last year?
Yes, we approved 2 students, the first 2 students to get the Arabic seal, speaking Arabic as a second language. And I remember it was very interesting process, and especially the interview. I was really surprised how they are motivated, and the choose of the topic, the way they speak, and it was very interesting. But for the second person, I don't know. I did the meeting from my office because it was like around 3 o'clock, and I remember the school provided a second person, not me. Because if I'm working in the office and I will take like 1 hour off or something, it would be hard to arrange for somebody else from outsider to be with me in the meeting. So I don't know what to do about this part.
Yeah, so that's a good question. So I am going to ask the school-based coordinators to try to find the second person. And then if we're unable to do that, because clearly if they have an Arabic speaking student, there's an Arabic speaking community near their school, right? So maybe there's a neighbor of that student or a cousin of another student who's older and might want to help out. Maybe it's easier to get a person for the Part C assessment panel, which is only like up to a half an hour, versus like you're the more involved advisor. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So annotated bibliography, again, this is where students do need support finding credible sources, using keywords in their language, summarizing, and this would be probably in February or maybe even early March. And the research can include, like, they're looking into another community, right? So if they're studying immigration, they could be thinking about their own community in Washington Heights, or they could be thinking about how it's dealt with at home. Yeah, it's really open. We want them to be able to pick a topic that interests them, and then they do research, and then they're making connections and comparisons. And then you're helping them identify reliable information, credible sources, government websites, the UN websites. So the UN websites, as Mohammed, you know, a lot of those resources around the Sustainable Development Goals are available in multiple languages, including simplified Chinese and Arabic and French and Russian as well. And then, so in the folder, there are some examples of part A and B, samples from prior years. The rubric expectations say a few paragraphs. I think some of these are they exceed rubric expectations, but this is in simplified Chinese. This is 4 paragraphs. So this is an example of what it could look like. So when you're setting up your Part C presentations, again, it'll be great to have a recording so that we can have some examples of Part C presentations. And yeah, we're hoping to do these in April. So if the school cannot provide a panelist. And schools do different things to really celebrate the students. So their presentation is showing they're taking ideas from the research. They're not reading from their slides. It's just a few bullets here. They need to be fluent with the information, right? Not like they are reading like a robot. And then it's a viewpoint, right? What did you learn? What are you thinking about this? What would you do? And then you're asking some questions like, what was your process? What was most interesting for you? How will you use this information? And actually, it came up on Tuesday that these questions are currently all in English. So this as well, I could give you each an hour to translate these questions into your language, right? So you can ask the panel questions in your language. So that's another opportunity. So like, how did you choose your sub-theme? How did you choose this? We can have these available in Spanish, French, Portuguese, Arabic, Russian, to make it easier for next year. And yeah, so here's the rubrics for like 1E, 2E, for category 1, 2. So for French and Portuguese, right? They're telling stories about their personal experiences. They're using a few paragraphs and then different time frames, right? And then they have some connective ideas. And then research, I'd say 3 to 5 sources, paragraph length, and then they're summarizing in their own words and main idea. And then the presentation, usually 5 to 10, maybe up to 15 minutes for a presentation. And so that's a checklist for them. And it's really great to see how they're celebrated. Yeah, different celebrations. And so that's it. Do we have questions?
Hi, Jill.
Yes.
I have a question. You didn't mention Ukrainian students. Do you have any?
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to show you the list again. Zanga. Nope. Ying. We need to make sure that's on there because we don't have Ukrainian. Hold on. I have 2 requests for Ukrainian.
Are they from Brooklyn or? Because I know we have somewhere in our school at FDR High School, but these are probably...
No, one is in New Utrecht, which is close to you, and then one in Tottenville in Staten Island.
I see.
I have a colleague, Ekaterina Ratushnyuk. We work in our school on biliteracy and on the seal of biliteracy with the students. She's a Ukrainian and she speaks fluently Ukrainian if you need someone on Staten Island.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I can take the one in Brooklyn. So.
Yeah, okay. The idea is that I think it's nice to be able to work with 2 students at the same time. an option, so it might make sense, Oksana, that you work with both,
Okay.
if that's okay. Yeah. And then,
Sure.
Ying Ying, you're gonna give me, you have one in Zanga. This is Flushing High School, right? Okay. Okie dokie. And Flushing, I need to follow up with you around your Hindi and Korean, how many you have in those languages. So I'll follow up with you separately. Yeah, Arabic right now I have 3, maybe 4,
Okay.
I don't know. So we'll have to figure this out. So what's next is that I'm going to fix up these slides because clearly there are some extra slides you don't need. I will send this to you, and then I'm hoping, I don't know if I can do it by tomorrow or by Tuesday. I know next week is Regents Week. So by tomorrow, what I'm going to do is Justin and I are going to follow up with all these coordinators and ask if the students have done the part A essays, and then link in the part A essays, and then I will connect you with the students and everything. Okay. Again, as I said earlier, you saw the list, right? So for Bengali, I know that Konika and Nazdeen will each have at least like 6 to 8 students. For the other languages, I can't guarantee a position, but you have the information, and I'm going to try to see if there are 11th graders who want to be part of the process. So if you're working with a few students, that's better than working with 0 students or just 1 student. So I will have to get back to you after I confirm with the coordinators, but that's all the information I have right now, and you'll hear from me very soon. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Yeah, thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much, Jill. Have a good
Okay,
one.
Thank
cool.
you.
Thanks. Okay, I'll send the slides. Okay, thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Merci. Thank you.
Okay, merci.
Bye.
Shukran.
Thank you.
Bye.
Assalamu alaikum.
Okay. Okay, Ying Ying, can you stay on for a few minutes?
Yeah, of course.
Flushing. Yeah, I need to make sure of your Flushing list because I feel like, okay. Okay, hold on. We're gonna do, okay. So Flushing. Okay. So, okay. So it's 1 Dzanga.
Yes.
Okay. So how many do you need? Hindi? Okay, 2 Hindi.
Yeah.
2. Okay. 2 Korean.
Korean.
2. Do you know how many Arabic and
Arabic, well, we have an in-house teacher that can grade in Arabic, so we're good for now.
okay.
Yeah.
What about Bengali, French?
French, we have 1.
And you don't have anyone at school who can help with French, right?
French. Oh, all right. Oh, sorry. I just confirmed with Miss Martin. We have a French teacher here, so we're good.
Hi, Miss Martin. Happy New Year. Okay.
Saying hi to you. So
Okay.
I'm wearing the headphones. So
Oh,
she
yeah.
cannot hear
So
you.
Bengali, how many?
Bengali, we also don't even. We only have 1 teacher that can grade like Bengali, but we need like 1 more person for the presentation.
Okay. So 1 for the panel. Okay. And is it the same with Arabic that you'll need someone for the panel?
Yes.
Okay. Arabic, 1 for panel. Okay. And then what about, okay, French you have there. What about Tagalog? Do you need someone for Tagalog and Urdu?
Do we need someone for the Urdu? But we still need 1 more panelist for the presentation. All right, so we need 1 panelist for the Urdu one.
Okay, so it's, okay, 1 for panel. Okay. And then Tagalog, did you say?
Tagalog, no, we don't have anybody to grade that.
Okay, so
Tagalog.
it's one student.
One student.
Okay, so I think, do you want the connection with the students to go to you or Ms. Martin?
They can just email me. Yeah, I can put my
Okay.
email here.
Are you
'Cause I'm
YE,
grading the-
YA5?
Yeah, let me just type it in the chat right now. So
Okay.
you, yeah, yes, I just type it in
Oh,
the chat.
32. Okay, I don't know why. How do you pronounce your first name?
Ying Ying.
Yinging, okay. And then what was I gonna ask? Do you know if these students have written their part A yet?
I know the Zanka student has submitted the part 1,
Okay,
and the Tagalog has not yet.
okay.
Bengali, yes. Arabic, yes. Korean, yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, should we be making rows for each individual? Okay, let me figure this out. So, Korean, okay, student 1, student 2. Okay, student 2. I need to organize this and then I'm gonna like, you see what I'm doing, and then it's like Korean
I
student.
see.
Yeah, because for each student, you're gonna link in their like part A, and then you're gonna set up the, so what I think would be good for you to do right now is to get it ready, make a copy of the score sheet for each student. And maybe you have, yeah, and then we're gonna link in like the score sheet for Petroline, right? And so then we're gonna link it in this. So then the Korean advisor could easily find it, right?
Oh, then I can link their essay just to the same document so they can see it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So wait, hold on one sec, because I'm gonna make this clearer, right? Due date, development score, use rubrics. From here. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna link a few things in, but I'd say to tell all those students that they can write their part A, and they should have a copy of this checklist as they're writing, you know? Okay.
Also, just one more question. When do you think we give like the hard deadline for the students who did not start like their part 1? Then we can like say, oh, we don't need these languages anymore because they didn't do their part 1.
I'd say if they finish part A by the end of next week, because they have Regents Week, right? Because I think maybe by February, I would say, so wait, okay, what's the, yeah, so next week's Regents Week. They're probably a little stressed out, right? By that first full week in February, yeah, by like, yeah, so when does the second semester start?
It's January 21st. Oh, no, not 21st.
28th. Yeah, and then they have off for Lunar New Year, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'd say by yeah, by January 20, and they have off on the 27th, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so by January 28th, that's a good point, actually. By January 28th, the first day of the second semester, they should have their part A done. Does that feel right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's fair. They have Regents Week and they have all day on the 27th if they haven't. And then by February, they're starting to work on revise part A and then work on part B and C. Okay?
Yeah, I will email you if those low incident like kids, like they did not complete this, so we don't need those languages. I will keep you updated. Yeah.
Okay, please do. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for your help.
Yeah, have a great day. Okay,
You too.
bye.
Bye.
Clement, Justin, I'm closing
Yes.
this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, bye.
Clement, let me ask you, Clement,
Yes,
I only have, hold on. I only have a few requests for Chinese.
okay.
So I have two. I had you for this, and then Justin Zhang Yi is also for Chinese. Are you like really interested? I only have two students at this point. So
Yeah, can take over it. I'm okay. I just want to know, and I mean, I just want to understand more everything. Justin
Okay.
can take over.
But I'm working with Justin on another project, so I'll ask him. And then let's see, I'm going to ask if there are any 11th graders who want to do their projects in Chinese. And if so, then maybe you can have more students. So I will get back to you, okay?
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Okay. Oh, let me ask you. Oh, actually, I have another meeting. Okay. I'll
Okay.
ask you about Fujianese another time. Okay, bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, Jill.